My name is Jimmy Mimes. I have 4 children. My wife named Mary. My children, Derek, Don, D-A-W-N, Larry, and Brandon. I have 8 grandchildren and 1 adopted grandchild, so we say we have 9. My first reaction when I found out I was going to be a father was, I was surprised. Of course, I didn't have any idea that I was going to be a father. And I was in Korea at the time when I got the news, and probably the last thing on my mind, just to be totally honest about it. And I think when I got home from overseas, I think Derek was about maybe a year when I first saw him. I was at my mom's house, because we all lived in the same town. He brought him over and dropped him in my lap and said, "Here's your explicit baby." That was my introduction to my son, my firstborn. I think the next time I saw him, he may have been 5, maybe, because I was still in the military, you know. And she brought him to Cleveland. I think he was about 7. And she brought him on a condition that I could spend time with him or be with him on a permanent basis if she was a part of the package, per se. And we had a discussion about that, and at the time in my life, I was not prepared to even thought about being married or anything like that. So again, we saw each other back and forth maybe once every 5 years, but I still kind of stayed in touch. And he calls me Pops. But it took a while. He just started calling me that maybe 10 years ago. And I go down almost every year. Watch him coach and watch my grandson, which is Jordan, play, so we get a chance to interact that way. My 3 kids are out of wedlock: Derek, Don, and Brandon. But I did eventually marry Don's mom. So that within itself create situations. I actually left Don and her mom. She was 10. And so we saw each other on occasion, but Brandon basically lived with me predominantly all of his life. My wife, Mary, came into the picture when he was 4. So I was a single parent for about 4 years. I wanted to make sure I was involved in my kids' life. I was like 9 years old when I first met my 2 brothers, but never met my dad. I had a stepdad, but he was not to beat him up. God bless his soul, he's passing gone, but he was not anything close to any kind of role model. But he taught me a lot of things, but when you don't have a good role model as a father, or close to a good role model, it's hard, it's tough. My mom was my dad and my mama, all in one. The things that I did learn about a dad, I learned watching other men, the good and the bad. I was tough. I was a tough dad. It was my way or the highway kind of thing when I had my kids. You know, I didn't allow them, if they say, "Why, Dad?" If we didn't, because I was raised that way. Ain't no such thing as why. I know I was not a perfect man. I tell my 2 adult granddaughters, your grandpa was a man before he was a grandpa. So, understand that. Of course, I grew up in the late 40s, 50s. We had my hometown, they call us colored people sitting in the top of the theater and the white people sitting at the bottom of the theater. We had white and black water fountains. Even though I did play with white kids, but we knew we were inferior. When I say about it, because you're taught that you're inferior. I am 6 feet 3.5. I'm a dark-skinned man. I'm bald-headed. And most of the men that you see that get shot or get stopped, they're that complexion, they're that size. Now, I'm not saying it don't happen to other people. And all 3 of my boys are big, they're tall, and they got deep voices. But I always tell them, you make the right choices. You make choices, you're gonna make bad choices. You're gonna make them, that's a life. And the biggest issue is the consequences. You have to be ready for the consequences. But again, I didn't want to fight when Floyd got killed. No, I didn't. I was saddened. because I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. But I'm relying on my Jesus to get us through this. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be protesting, but my favorite scripture, of course, is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Just trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into our own understanding. In all our ways, acknowledge Him, He will direct our paths. It just covers so much.